several city
There are a
blocks.
lot of follow-up.
It was actually kind of cool because you could just literally pop up in a whole another part of town. Here, you go.
Yeah, that showed somebody to the OR. They did. That's what Jenny told me. I said, if he's not going on, then should he be here? Yeah, maybe something is going on.
Yeah, maybe so. I'm not sure it is.
Yeah. I think that's the understanding we had, that if there's clinically something going on, that we can always say he's busy doing a case. Talk was
Maybe that's excessive.
Sometimes I always get this feeling that I wish we would, those people we could talk to. It's very bizarre for me.
Me too.
Like same with my grandfather.
Like ghosts.
Yeah. Then I would ask his friends, what would you do? It's amazing that how the mind works. Like I would ask some of my dad's friends. None of my grandfather's friends are around. Dad's got
You want to talk to people like Dean? Help me a lot. I was asking about this one, some of the different ones.
Exactly, yeah.
Gil had something, I checked it, and they called me and said, "Are you okay if I run back to Dean Griffin?" I said, "Yeah, you should." And then Dean Griffin made the same assessment which I made for him. He had something in intramuscular. He just had a
SARS did?
Yes. So he was just like, how, like in terms of like, he wants to talk to Dean because that's his buddy, but I said, yeah, this is so I think you always go.
It's nice to be called.
Yes, I went to see him, and it was interesting like how he evolved. One year and 3 months. No. Busy. Tomorrow night.
Or they can separate it in smaller groups. Probably.
Yeah, that's what
Which I like, that's good. It's not good for people who have surgery.
So you left for Monroe in 2000?
2001. 2001.
Down it was just about to start. You know, journey, give me a couple of like how like in terms of my career challenges.
received all 3 awards. Woody Wilson, practicing transport, final award, best referee in the rest. Of course, Bob wrote it all staff and services. Everything was given to the house staff. We're not being there that day, I'm a little COVID sensitive.
Which guy?
You've been doing this in a way
Yeah.
under positions.
Yeah.
You got the people managers, because I watch it. Like you come into the PSC, I automatically myself, you step on my game, did great. See how you make the collaboration. No waste of time. You start putting that pen out. They have already been emailed to you. They use energy and attention. You tell them to meet. So you got to look at it. I've never seen it. 40 days to meet. That's my time. You met even the you met all three.
Oh, yeah. Put it there.
Was it very sweet? Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you. It took a lot of time in the stacks. I am, yeah. Well, I know, I got another book, tooth and nail. Yeah, the whole thing is, there's part of history, sensitive things. I gotta know the good, bad, and ugly about this place. One thing I almost mentioned, I want to take pictures of all the walls. There's 138 pictures on the wall. The old sign, what I call transition and the new sign. Very interesting to see the transition of the dress, ethnicity, gender, and that to me means a lot. My son was going to come up here and take a picture, create a panorama and show the diversity and he was going to make some kind of video about it. And we just did that. I thought it was cool. There's some deceased people on that wall too.
Okay, fine. No, no.
What's really the guy, he made transplant, cancer, trauma. Look at all those three things. And now, under the way you say, they actually got robotic pain. Trauma already, and the last they all send it here, complicated. Trauma, nobody wants to. That's why I'm excited in the guideline, chest trauma
Talking about for trauma.
Yeah.
I'll use these things also to list about, not only put that, but put hyperlinks to videos, I do an emergency orthotics, hyperlinks to some of the landmark articles.
That's why I put
I
seven.
saw that, I read those, those are good, those are very good.
I mean, make sure you take pictures of the notice boards, 7 landmark articles.
Yes, I did.
Northern Code, I need.
Is your wife and family watching on?
Start reading what's they lose interest. What I noticed is this in 19 cases, there are 5 opportunities for improvement. And those opportunities are 1, 2, 3. Facial trauma, this is opportunity. Neurosurgery, this is opportunity. Big kids, they are not here, but they are with me.
That's good.
Rob has been very good in feedback. Yoko during night time, Yoko is there for them, but they're actively giving feedback. So that has been very useful. So she has nights. Maybe she was so right.
Actually, I just saw Lisa go down. Good job.
Oh, yeah. But it has been a busy day.
They're last thing after the other. Gotta wait till Friday when we got all this. But
Yeah, it always happens, man. If this was on Thursday, it would have happened.
yeah, the thing on the fire has been put out so far, so we'll see. If y'all see me get up and run, it's somebody else's.
Till 5 o'clock.
I won't call tonight, it'll be either way.
Yep, cheers, Kyle. Which one's yours? We're the best ones.
Whose chair is he sitting in? He's sitting in Patton's chair?
It does remind me Yeah, I like to go to I did very first time ever did.
A lot of patients in the ICU. A lot of patients in the ICU.
Not necessarily. I think 11 or 12 is just like, oh, there's something going on today. Either it's heavy or they're bleeding or something like that. Yeah. Or
Just the microphone.
it looks like an inferior.
Yeah, and that was such a busy, Mr. Jordan's got approved to extend, but as I know, I was low to like 1.8 today. They can get liner.
got into the transplant, they got deep in the company's throat, he's sitting there. So you cannot bring him back to radiation.
Right.
Can't use the bed up front. We do these stroke on really that's very high. And the outcome is about
Put a little Miller note on there too.
I thought I'd pick up the,
it's really a great seed. But at least you got.
I'm gonna get rid of it, I'm gonna write it up.
And people are really interested in history. They really are. Yeah. Telling you, they will be listening to Kevin. They will. A lot of people.
John had some articles in his archives, he loved history too. Oh, he loves those. He loves farmers.
Whenever I give a talk, I always have just to hear about that disease. Like, first I didn't like people was down with pushing it. When was they calm the people? You always.
It was about 120 my bibliography was on this, so I'll get that to you. I'll get you a copy of this one. It's always interesting to see who picks the rockers and who picks the regular chicks. I'd pick the regular chicks. I don't like rockers.
So in my battery collector is one rocking chair which Arjun just chose. I'm also a static chair guy, but he likes a rocker. So he goes, when I visit, I will. So remember that showing the picture of the patio furniture to send me for the Father's Day? Yeah. So there's one part of furniture is a rocking chair. Arjun told me, he said he picked it for himself.
He must be getting tall.
Yes, sir, he's starting like gymnastics.
That's good.
Philly's opening up a little bit now.
It's the same as last year, just different.
Who remembers that? No, I mean to say here the study camp.
Tell Samara hi for me. Yes, I
Because of that, 4 minutes.
Chiefs that have operated, and not for the highway
Never give a shit. My third nephew. But I think love. He's like that.
It's, I guess apparently it's too late in the afternoon. Foster's on at 6 a.m. so he can get out there.
Oh, say good tomorrow?
Yeah, he
Oh,
can
okay, cool. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Still only that TikTok video.
I know, I'm gonna do it. I haven't seen it yet. That was good. Oh man, you did good. Really? Yes.
I love the.
You gotta see it. I mean, I watched it yesterday. I told somebody, y'all did good. Francesca. Hey, Jennifer, show everybody your speech. All right, it's time for the fun part. Well, you know, we don't have any alcohol on board, but we're looking pretty good. So, Jennifer, if that's the real speech, you're in trouble. This is the fun part of the afternoon. There's no doubt about it. A lot of people are happy. Some people are sweating. Nonetheless, it's a good time to be had by all. First thing we'll start off is the awards. These are awards. Dr. Sammer will start for presentation to our chief residents. This is a live one right there. Everybody stand and stay standing so we can get some photos.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. White. Hi, everybody. On the best days, we look forward in our residency trainings. Okay, I will start giving the aerial photo and the composite we have. For this tradition our program has, we give you a picture of all the faculty and also the signature we call the composite. I'll start calling residents alphabetically in their name. So first is Dr. Awe.
This way.
That's the same thing. That's this right. This one. Yeah. This one. Thank you. Next is Dr. Rachel Cox. Sweet. Thank you, sir. Here we go, Rachel. Yes, sir. Thank you. Next is Jean-Luc de la Fontaine. Thank you. Here we go, buddy. Chicago, huh? Thank you. Thank you. Connor McDaniel, Jennifer Kim. I'm getting nervous. No. Thank you. Here we go, Jennifer. This is nice. Thank you. Thank you. Next is Connor McDaniel. Thank you, sir. There we go. Last but not the least, Pennington. Pavin. Thank you, sir. There we go, buddy. That's the big one. It's a good one. Thank you.
All right, to have a few awards we'll present this afternoon to the undergrads. First goes to the Best Teaching Award, Junior Resident, Dr. Brooks Lowry. And for the Senior Resident, Dr. Rachel Cox. To me, this is an award I think that's one of the most sought-after awards for the faculty because it's given by the residents. It's the Best Teaching Award. And I watched this young surgeon describe the way he does things, the literature he's read, and he's many years a senior to what his experience shows. I've seen him give lectures in the morning for SCORE. and the residents have asked us to fashion after how he presents. He wants all of us to present like this. So I'm very honored to give this award to Dr. Muzammil Aziz. Congratulations, my friend. Well earned, Muzammil. Thank you. Most operative cases. I wish we had outcomes, but we'll start with operative cases. PGY1, Emily Adams. Congratulations, Emily. Come back here. You got to take a picture. If we give each other COVID, I'll blame you. I'm the more susceptible. PGY2, Dr. Lance Albin, Tyler Albin. Dr. Albin was caught up in a lot of patient care today. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
Uncomfortable distance here. I'm not sure quite where quite where we need to be. PGY3, Patrick Albert. Congratulations, bud. Give me. There you go. Real men. All righty. PGY4, Francesca Armstrong. She's the only one on the thoracic surgical service who hunts for cases, I can tell you. Congratulations. Thank you. And PGY5, Dr. Jennifer Kim. Congratulations, Jennifer. Good job.
Oh, I'm sorry. Technical difficulty. There you go. Got it. Good job.
All right, yeah, kind of helping out each other. So the next category is the AppSite Awards, the top 25th percentile. We'll start giving those. The first is Rachel Cox. Congratulations. Good job. Jennifer Kim.
PGY5s blew it out of the roof this year. Really helped our entire average for the residency.
Thank you. Jean-Luc de la Fontaine. Let's take a picture. Documentation important.
Still got your do list in your pocket, John. Time to give it up, baby. Time to give it up.
Pennington. Proud of you, man.
Congratulations, Patton.
Thank you, baby. Kate Rhymes. Congratulations. Brooks Lowry. So proud of you guys this year. So many people in this category. Good job. Chris Foster. Congratulations. Thank you. All right, I'm going to present now a very special award. It's the Outstanding AppSite Score Award, 95 percentile and above. Rachel Cox.
Oh,
Congratulations. Thank you. I'll go to the next category, which is the Best Clinical Case Presentation Award. This award was selected today after you heard all the three case presentations. And for the clinical case presentation, the best award goes to Dr. Francesca Armstrong. place. Good job, good presentation.
Thank you.
Now, the next is the best research presentation. This was impressive. It's the presentation, the person who's coming on the stage, well job done. Dr. Julian Arrieta, no surprise.
Dr. Burke, can you come up to give the vascular surgery award, please? Should let him use that.
Yes.
That's right here for you.
This was a very difficult decision, but the Excellence in Vascular Surgery Award goes to Emily Adams.
Dr. Sorrells and Altman, if y'all could come up and present the John C. McDaniel Surgical Society Award. Awards. Right there, my friend. Here you go. Just for the chiefs. Dr. Samra? There it is.
I was going to ask Dr. Chu to come up here as one of the authors for the book that we'll be presenting to the chiefs. It's my honor to give you guys a gift, John C. McDaniel Society. I think that the knowledge that you guys have gained and have earned is the greatest gift that you're receiving. These are just mere tokens of that. But we're all very proud of you guys, very proud of the work that you've done. And I know that Dr. McDaniel would be very proud of you. So, Ade? It's a heavy book. Here, yep. That's right. Rachel Cox. And John-Luc Fontaine.
John-Luc, it's going to be very relevant to what you do.
And then Jennifer Kim. It is heavy. And Connor McDaniel. Thank you. And Pat Pennington.
Thank you so much, Frank. Have a good one. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to dim the lights a little bit. We need y'all to get in the mood. Supporting all these sterile lights y'all been under. It's always sunny and 70 in the OR. Time for a little reminiscence and internal love and frustrations you all felt over the last 5 to 6 years. Y'all have heard me speak for the last 2 years, so I'm not going to say much. I love all of you. I hadn't been able to spend much time, obviously, a couple of years. But after looking what you all have been through, it's been a lot of adversity, a lot of change, So I think if anybody could name a group, I would call you the great adapters, because y'all have adapted to so many things and have come out smelling very well and smelling like a rose, I think. So this is your time. It's not my time. So Dr. Alway. Got it? There you go. Let me turn this on for you. We have enough battery space?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Greetings, team. We've arrived to this date, and here we stand. I had this sentiment when I was matching and graduating at Meharry. I said it takes a village, and all of you have really been an integral part in our growth and evolution into becoming the next generation's general surgeons. And I truly appreciate all the administrative staff, clinical nurses, OR nurses, ICU nurses, ward nurses, our staff, for all that they've done to kind of contribute to this. One of my favorite verses in the Bible is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I've kind of stood on that throughout this journey, this 6-year journey that I've been on. I want to first not only thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for his unwavering grace, mercy, and favor for which he's bestowed upon me throughout this journey. I also want to thank my family, who's hopefully watching. I'm sure they are watching. My mother, my father, my stepfather, my sister, and my better half, my fiance, for all their unwavering support and love through this day-to-day turmoil that we go through. I'll be going to D.C. To do a surgical critical care fellowship for 1 year, and then become a trauma surgeon. And I'm excited to embark on this new journey. I feel truly that I'm going to leave this place a confident and competent surgeon, which was the goal. And yeah, that's how I feel. To part on to the residents who are kind of still in the trenches and been in the trenches with me throughout the years, I'll say one thing: stay true to your patients, because that's the reason why we're here, to learn to take care of them and provide them their surgical needs. One poem that kind of got me throughout this process that I'll kind of share briefly as I conclude. It's a poem it's titled If by Rudyard Kipling, and it reads as such: if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, being lied about, don't deal in lies, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise, if you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, a stoop and building up with worn out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginning and never be the word about your loss. If you can force your heart, your nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there's nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends shall hurt you, if all men stand with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more. Not only will you be a man, but you'll be a surgeon, my son. Thank you, guys.
Wow, I love Kipling, but I love Alway better. Thank you. Rachel Cox.
you may not know this, but I'm the crier in the group. Jennifer's made fun of me a great deal about this, and I'm sure many bets will be lost on me crying early. So this 5 years has been just a whirlwind, many changes that we've had to adapt to, and many of which I've been surprised at. Some of the most wonderful changes has brought me all you people into my life. I wasn't expecting to match here, and this has been the best thing in my life. Has made all of my relationships stronger and made me stronger as a person and as a surgeon and a physician. So, to Carolyn, my best friend, she's got me through this year, and I've got through this year, and I just look forward to watch you grow in the future. I have to say, there's been many residents that have shaped me into who I am. My first chief residents, Smith, Sugar, Seacard, and Pennywell, I can only help to emulate, who you guys are as surgeons now. To Ali Reza, you have been just such an inspiration. He's been such a good friend, and anytime I struggle, he's always been there for me. To Amos, my first resident, Dr. Sid, and all the times I pestered you as an intern with how to replace potassium, and you said, I don't care, just replace it, over and over again, as I was a brand new intern and didn't know even how to put orders in. Your patience and your kindness to your patients also has led me in the right direction. Chad, you've been one of my favorite residents to work with. We were on nights together for years, it seemed like, months in reality. It snowed one night, and being from the north, I knew how to handle this. I had a scraper in my car. I turned on my automatic start and my heaters, and Chad, with his little sedan, just sat outside looking at it and couldn't even get in his car. And so I brought my scraper over to help him, and Chad just gets in his car and says, thanks, and let me scrape his car for him. So, to Monica, Linda, Mona, I wouldn't be here without you guys. One of my favorite memories was when I was a second year, and I was doing an Rizral fistula revision for one of our attendings, and he was like, get started and call me when you have proximal and distal control. Not quite a liter of blood later, and a couple of clamps on the fistula where they didn't necessarily need to be. To begin with, Dr. Tan comes in and says, okay, we got out the whole fistula, and Linda had cleaned up all of this blood. She had made everything look pristine for me, and Dr. Tan was like, okay, this looks good. And that's only because of her. She directed my hands. She taught me so much, and that's been just invaluable to me. To Jenny, Stacy, Debbie, Joyce, everyone in the office staff, you guys make it so that I can get through. I get all my paperwork in on time. I know that I stop by your office, I have coffee, we share stories, and you guys have supported me so much in the ways that our attendings don't. To Dr. White, you have been a foundation that we needed, and I look forward to see where this goes in the future. To our transplant, peds, vascular team, all of you guys, general surgery, burns, just so much, and just not enough time to go through how much we appreciate. I've tried to get a hold of you individually and just say how much you all mean to me and how much I've learned. To the colorectal team, Dr. Warner, Stratton, Grimes, DeBose, it's what I want because of you guys. I just love how much you guys take care of your patients. It's not just about the pathology, it's about lifestyle, not just for the surgeon, I'm talking about the patients. And so much of what they go through, you can see your hearts in what they have to deal with those problems. And that just really spoke to me in a way that many other surgeries just didn't. And I just found my home with you guys, both as people and as a surgeon. I have to say at the end, I wouldn't be here without my family. My brother is deployed and is watching this overseas, and I love you, Josh. Anastasia, his wife, taking care of those 3 kids. I've missed so many birthdays, so many celebrations, and they still love me. And I miss you, Lillian, Jacob, and Gavin so much. I know you guys are watching. To David, my husband, you've got me through this. You've always been there, and I love you so much. And finally, my mother, who, I don't know how many people know that I'm, fairly hard-headed, dyslexic, can't read, can't write, can't do anything on my own. It seems like that people want me to do, but I'll find my own way. And she helped me learn how that way was. She would spend hours and hours with me throughout my elementary school. Single mother, took care of me, taught me the importance of diligence and hard work. And she made me who I am. Thank you.
Thanks, Rachel. Sharon. Dr. Della Fontaine.
Thanks, sir.
So despite my rather intense personality, I'm going to try to keep this sort of light, sort of fun, hopefully. Shakespeare once said, brevity is the soul of wit. So I'm going to try to keep things as brief as possible, which means, unfortunately, I can't thank every single person who got me this far by name because I would be here all day. Especially, all our great scrub techs and everybody in the OR and circulating nurses, floor nurses, SICU nurses, Miss Linda, all the clinic staff. But please know that I will always remember all of you. And you guys have come through the enormous task of making me a surgeon somehow. So it's been a long time, half a decade or a 20th of a century, which, needless to say, the only thing harder than graduating this residency has been getting an ultrasound done here on the weekends. It's been an incredible journey, by turns hilarious and horrendous, sacred and profane. And then this COVID-19 thing happened. So it's changed everything, and undoubtedly will be a turning point in the history of medicine and world history. But that's an entirely different topic. More relevant to us, I can assure you I was as excited as all of you to realize we would only be foregoing the free drinks and dinner, but we would still have the full day lecture. So I was pretty excited to hear that. Dr. White, thank you so much for your unbelievable passion and incredible presence in the OR and at bedside. You're such a huge inspiration to me, and I hope to make you and our program proud. I must admit I've really enjoyed seeing your funny side and your light side, and I'm tempted to try to tap into that sometimes when I call you late at night with a consult and, saying, yeah, it's a possible esophageal perforation in the ER. Yes, sir. Well, they haven't gotten a swallow study yet. It's ordered, just so you know. Are you really mad, or can we bring you to the bright, sunny, fun guy? Are you just pretending to be mad? No, we're just pretending I'll have a job tomorrow. Perfect. Okay. All right. Operating with Dr. White, the thoracic cases are great. The cabbages, it's about as relaxing as juggling chainsaws. But I've loved every minute of it, and everything I've seen in the OR from you is unbelievable. And I hope to be just a quarter of the surgeon you are one day. I think I'll be a pretty great surgeon if I can do that. All kidding aside, I really miss you, and I'm forever grateful for all your mentorship. Dr. Samra, thank you for your insights into the human condition and all your encouragement over the years and wacky stories. I'm really going to miss you too. Dr. Rao, you're one of the most fearless surgeons I've ever met. Perhaps the most amazing thing I've ever seen in an OR is in the middle of maybe the 6th hour of a 5-vessel cabbage. You probably don't even remember this. One of the scrub techs pulled the 4th distal off of OM1, I think it was. And your reaction was, oh man. And then you just said, give me 7-0, and you sewed the debrided artery back, and it didn't need a repair stitch. So that was something. You're also the only person who could scrub into a case, and as the patient's induced starts coding, and while you're drawing your hand, shrug and say, sick patient. He survived, by the way, and he did just fine. I saw him in clinic. Dr. Verk, you're the most selfless person I've ever met, not just in medicine, but in life. I consider you a close friend of mine, and I know I'll be calling you for advice in the future about personal matters and, groin reconstruction matters, whatever's happening. I know you'll always be there. Dr. Aziz, I think you're too hard on yourself. You're an unbelievable surgeon, and you're probably the greatest teacher I've ever worked with, ever. And you've watched me change needle angles more times than I've changed socks that week before taking just a single bite. So thank you. And I also consider you a close friend. Dr. Chu, I'll always remember all your teachings. And thank you so much for letting us do the huge cases. I never thought I'd be discussing the quadratic equation and Humean philosophy and the fall of the Roman Empire during a case, which can be distracting, like the time we almost closed up a Hartman's patient with anatostomy. But he did fine. We remembered. Dr. Griffin, thank you so much for your wisdom and teachings about life. I feel so privileged to have trained with you. You're the truest of the general surgeons out there. And thank you, Dr. Zabari. You're next. Thank you for giving me hell and never letting me get away with anything. You have the presence of a giant man in the OR. Like somebody who's maybe 5'6", 5'7". Again, kidding aside, I'll always remember your mantra to treat every patient like they were my family. I'm really going to miss you, bub. Dr. Amiri, thank you for being so incredibly patient with me while I fool around trying to sew whipples, and thanks for letting me sew whipples. You're the only person who can make a liver transplant relaxing. Dr. Boykin, thank you for your friendship and hilarious hijinks. I'm really going to miss you. Dr. Sorrells, you're truly a great surgeon, and I will also miss really operating with you and just hanging around, chatting. Dr. Brown, you're the chairman of the Shreveport Whiskey Society and a general man about town. Thank you for finding some way of actually being an accomplished pediatric surgeon as well in the meantime. Ronnie, Amos, and Chad, you guys have been such good friends of mine and encouraged me all along the way, so thank you. Thank you very much. And of course to my mom and my father, my brother Laurent, all my heroes, and my beautiful fiancée Coral, thanks for always believing in me even those days when I didn't believe in myself. And last but not least, to our patients, thank you so much for teaching me everything about, well, not everything, but a lot about surgery and about life, especially those lessons it took me a long time to learn and that I had to learn the hard way. So at the end of all this, when I reflected on my entire residency experience and really thought about it, I was really surprised to discover that I would, in fact, really miss the trauma transfers, the 2 a.m. central line consults, the diabetic feet, the serial neck fascia debridements, and the dislodged G-tubes. And I realized that I would miss them because I did all of these things with all of you. And my heart swelled up, and then I wasn't so surprised after all. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you so much. It's going to be great. Thank you.
That's great, John. Just remember, I've got to sign a few more forms on you guys. All righty. Dr. Kim, you and I didn't get a chance to operate. Bring your novel up here and let's get going.
Your turn. Take your time.
I think we saved some time on the last couple of speeches, so I'm going to take my time. I hope you're ready. What a 5 years it has been. It feels just like yesterday. I was Googleizing where Shreveport was when I got my first ever general surgery residency interview. Little did I know that day that Shreveport would have a special place in my heart. It's the place where I had my first interview, my first job, my first house. It'll forever be my home away from home. First and foremost, I would like to thank my family. I made fun of Rachel, but I'm crying. My mom and dad immigrated from South Korea with very little to their name. They raised 2 girls to become doctors and now surgeons, and there are no words to express the gratitude I have towards my mom and dad for everything they have done for us. To my sister, I will never admit, except for this day, that she had an influence on what motivated me to become a surgeon. Whether it's my competitive nature or just that our personalities are similar, I can't deny that she was a great influence. She's been a great big sister to me, and she's always paved the way for me and made it easier. When I was an intern starting off at nights and too scared to ask my chief questions, I'd be texting her by the patient room asking her what should I do, and she'd always be there for me. And now that we're both in our later years of residency, we get to compare notes and discuss how we operate, and I look forward to doing that in the future. I'd love to thank each and every one of our attendings, our staff, our residents, and I would love to name each and every one of you, but we would be here all day and Dr. White would kick me off the mic. So I've just trimmed it down to just a few. Thank you, Dr. Griffin. You are the surgeon that I hope and want to be, to continue to try new things, to be a master in your field, to give someone that slow burn that they don't even realize until they're out of the room. Memorizing everybody's name, being loved by everybody around you, just to name a few things. I only wish I had more opportunities to operate with you. Thank you, Dr. Grimes. You've been a great mentor to me. I love listening to all your stories, and I live for those rare moments when Dr. Grimes tells you, "Atta girl," in a colonoscopy. Thank you, Dr. White, for all the changes you have made and continue to make to this program. I really appreciated our time together, even though I didn't get to operate with you. I think I got the good side of things. But I really appreciate that you listen to us and take our feedback. Thank you, Dr. Samra, for always focusing on our education and our well-being, and I hope you continue on that track. Thank you, Dr. Rao. When I rotated on CT surgery for a month, it was just me and Dr. Rao. So I got to do quite a bit, and it was a great time. I really enjoyed all your teachings, your stories about how cardioplegia was made, the veggie burger breaks, and of course, the Indian lunch. Thank you to Dr. Alley, Dr. Rizzo, Dr. Johnson at Conway for teaching us and providing us with the true bread and butter general surgery cases and the autonomy that you provided. I think that's where I truly decided that general surgery was the way I wanted to go. Thank you, Dr. Brown, Dr. Sorrells, and Dr. Boykin. The pediatric surgery rotation was a true gem this year. The experience, the autonomy, the people that you're surrounded with, all of it was amazing. I only hope to find a group like yours in practice who support each other, provide mentorship, but also play pranks on each other. Thank you, Dr. Vert, Dr. Aziz, Dr. Sugar. Vascular is a busy rotation. There is no denying that fact, and I kind of regretted ending on it. But there's no denying that we get a tremendous amount of experience and autonomy, and the fact that you all are so kind and caring towards your patients and your residents makes it impossible not to like you guys. Appreciate. Thank you, Dr. Chu. There are so many Chuisms that will forever live in my mind when I operate. Fast is slow, slow is fast, traction, counter traction. Did you know what a Kalashnikov is? Because I didn't when I started this residency. You let us struggle. You teach us details and techniques in a way that only an Asian tiger dad can. Thank you, Drs. Zabari, Amiri, Altman, McMillan. The experience we get on transplant with anatomy and cases is hard to come by. The passion you guys have for your work and your patients is astounding, and something I hope to emulate one day. Thank you to the trauma team, Dr. Weigel, Dr. Reinhardt, Dr. Duhan, who left us too early. Dr. Dubose, Dr. Wharton, for teaching us the ways of trauma and letting us be comfortable in hairy situations. The trauma experience we get here is vast, and I know it will serve us well. And to Dr. Weigel for always hosting the amazing trauma journal clubs with the delicious drinks and snacks. We really appreciated it. Thank you to all of our other staff members, Jenny, Debbie, Stacy, Tammy. None of this could have been done without you. Our clinic staff and our OR staff, Monica, Linda, Mona, Stacy, Tamika, Lashenda, Damien, Ashley, our SICU nurses, Mama Bear, Dinah, and Trisha, just to name a few. You guided us through a lot when we knew nothing as interns, keeping us on top of our paperwork, helping us shine from behind the scenes. And thank you to all of my previous chiefs, Ben Pierce, Rachel Shirley, Patrick Smith, Arison Dottie, Ronnie Moad, Amos Sitt, Chad Brady, just to name a few. You all taught me so much, guided me through so much. I was lucky to have you guys as my mentors, my chiefs, my friends, and to this day, they still help me through tough times and listen to me vent. Some became my attendings and taught me even more and allowed me to spread my wings doing the cases I love, even though I know they wanted to do it. And to the current residents, I hate to leave you guys. I would love to continue to watch you blossom and grow. Be kind to each other, support each other. Everyone is going through or has gone through similar issues. Without each other, this would be a very difficult journey. My classmates, we've had a lot of ups and downs, but at the end, I'm proud to be graduating with such a wonderful group. Ade, you're a true prince and diplomat. You are always so level-headed, and I don't know what I would have done without you as my co-administrative chief. And when we were co-chiefs out at Conway, I can tell you I had the best time of my life. John Luke, I never had the joy of working with you. I feel like I missed out because hanging out with you is always so fun, and there's never a dull moment with you. Rachel, I admire how you always speak your mind and befriend strangers. You were always down to hang and release our stresses with Taco Tuesdays and Wine Wednesdays, and what other excuses we had to eat and be merry. Connor, I know your name. I promise. Also never had the joy of working with you. You are a hard worker and always take things in stride. I always miss the times back when we were interns and staying out too late, going to some random two-stepping dance hall where you tried to teach us to dance. I really miss those times. And Patton, I love my little visits with you between cases when you just pop in my OR or the vascular suite, just so we can talk. And you were always willing to help others and believe in the team effort. I enjoyed the times we would scrub together for our bigger cases to not just help each other, but learn from each other, and I will truly miss that. And to the Golden Bitches, I have a core group of friends. It's based off the Golden Girls. Yoko, Fran, B, and John. What would I have done without y'all? You guys have been there for me through thick and thin. We laughed together, cried together, vented to each other. You guys were my second family, my therapists, my squad. Yoko, you've been there since day one on this journey, always supportive, maybe always late, because that's Jamaican time for you, but always there for me. Fran, you're right. I'm going to be so bored without you next year. Who will I pick on? Who will point out the movies that I've never watched and put on a list that I promise to tell you I watch and will never will? To play zombies with and all the saltiness that is you. B, my strong, silent, except when there's ice cream involved. Black Cloud B. I tortured you by making you work with me a lot this past year, and I left you alone so much on vascular, and I felt really bad. But you're the vascular queen, and I knew you could handle it. But through it all, you are always listening and there for me. And John, we've had so many night shifts together, been through some really rough nights, but through it all, You always had a good attitude and could always make me laugh. And I can say we've successfully upgraded your hands to thunder and lightning. And finally, I'll only say it once. Wayo. These two simple words don't give justice to the gratitude, love, and multitude of emotions I feel towards everyone that has taken part in this journey with me, but there is no other way to express it. Thank you. Thank you for teaching me. Thank you for guiding me. Thank you for the emotional roller coaster ride. Thank you for the mentors and the friends. I couldn't have done it without you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. I didn't understand all of that, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm sure. All right. Connor McDaniel.
Tough act to follow. They say not to name everybody, and Jean-Luc said that brevity is the soul of wit, but I'm not very witty, so I have to name some people that were important. My goal is to keep this short and sweet, and so hopefully it is, but so much has happened in 5 years, and really 12, since I decided I wanted to become a surgeon. There's just a lot I could say about it if I really indulged myself, but there are just a few things I want to say. First and foremost, being a resident and being a physician is an immense privilege that for people who haven't experienced, a lot of people that are watching, it's hard to explain. I mean, I've seen things and I've done things that are hard to explain. And as a resident, your daily life is sometimes gory, sometimes intimate, sometimes heartbreaking, and you don't really know what you're going to get that day when you wake up. Except for one constant, and that's the really strong, compassionate, and patient men and women who show up every day to work here, to work hard, show compassion to their patients, and make the world a better place. And so I can't list a complete list, but I'm going to try. So people in the OR that I think are especially important and to our training that I really think deserve a mention are Lisa Willis, Barbara King, Stacy Player, LaShonda Kennedy, Damian Brooks, Tamika Williams, Eric and Brian, our nighttime super CRNAs, Linda Doucette. And Linda's, as people have mentioned, is a constant force of positivity, experience, and compassion, and is one of our many moms of the program, and I'm so grateful to know you. At the Conway OR, I'd like to thank Kim, Jazz, Carrie, Tiffany, Venus, Sherry, and everyone else there. You know who you are. We're very blessed to form close relationships with a lot of our nurses and our ICU nurses who are really the front lines of our patient care. And I want to mention some of their names too in the SICU. Amy, Annie, Brandon, Chloe, Christina, Colton, Danielle, Darisha, Dana, Erica, Jenny, Michelle, Otley, Stephanie, Sam, Sarah, Savannah, Seth, Stacy, and Trish. I'm sure I'm missing some. But a special mention to Dinah, who's always been a strong supporter of the residents since we started here. And she's really persevered through some immense hardship, and we miss her so much. I really hope you're watching. I also want to thank all the office staff, Jenny, Debbie, Tammy, Wendy, Stacy, all the E's. We're very thankful for all your hard work, and we know and y'all are herding cats all day, and we really appreciate you putting up with us. And especially our clinic and program coordinators like Shonda Bazer and Mona Adkins, Ashley Amos, Gail Nightingale when she was our coordinator, and of course Jenny. Without these people and many other people, this wouldn't be possible, and I'm really indebted and grateful to all of you. To our staff. Wow, I didn't expect to cry, I really didn't. Okay. So to every staff member here, you've really contributed to my knowledge in and outside the OR. And I'm grateful for everyone who shared their expertise and their patience and their time with me. So this includes all of you, but Dr. Mary Kim, Dr. Richardson, Dr. Satie, Dr. Grimes, DeBose, Stratton, Werner, Ranganath, Griffin, Sugar, Brown, Boykin, Sorrells, Chu, Larimore, Samra, Malavi, Weigel, Reinhardt, Verk, Aziz, Dr. Alley, Dr. Johnson, Dr. Rizzo and Lyles, Dr. Rao and Dr. White, Amiri, Zabari, McMillan, Altman, great names, all of these people. And to all the attendings that also trained me, which some have already been mentioned, but Dr. Duhan, Dr. Wharton, Dr. Owings, Dr. Linger, Timmer, Carroll, Roger Kim, Tan, Zhang, Dr. Moore, Dr. Stuckey, Miner, Donius, Scott, Conrad, Sadaya, all of the ER and anesthesia attendings, Mancini, Hiller, Romero, and Gill, thank you so much for giving your time and your knowledge and just your compassion for the edification of young surgeons. So many of these great men and women inspire me, and I'm humbled to know them, and I especially want to thank a few of them. Dr. Verk, you inspire me to be a better man. You inspire me to show empathy and compassion to all people and to always put my patients before myself. And I especially want to thank Dr. Aziz, who always puts training first and himself second. I want to thank Dr. Zabari and Amiri, who it's already been joked about, but are somehow men of great stature and short stature at the same time, but are wonderful men. You both have taught me so much about hepatobiliary and pancreas and transplant that I'm thankful for. But mostly, I'm just thankful and humbled to know you and to have worked alongside of you. And these men make me proud to be an American. And as Dr. Zabari says, God bless America, rock and roll. One of the wonderful things about this program is a diverse mixture of surgeons early and late in their career. We have many surgeons who have lived through different waves of medicine and surgery who have passed down experience that you can't read about in a book. However, where we differ from other programs in that regard is that our experienced and accomplished surgeons are not unapproachable. They're not on an ivory tower of self-importance. These are humble men and women like Dr. Griffin, Dr. Norwood, Dr. Weigel, Dr. Grimes, Brown, Eggerstedt, Gill, Johnson, and I especially want to thank Dr. Rizzo for all his years of service training residents and treating patients. Thank you, Dr. Rizzo. I'm so appreciative to all of you. And I also want to thank Dr. Griffin for all the wisdom and knowledge he shared, and for coming to my wedding and saying nice things to me and saying nice things to my parents. They will always remember that. To Dr. Samra and to Dr. White, your focus on improving this residency and your passion for this program is evident. I did not know Dr. McDaniel, but I'm sure he must be very proud of both of you. Dr. White, when I first met you, I was terrified. Everyone in town talked a big game about how the shark was coming back to town, and your intensity in the OR really preceded you. I was really wondering if this new chairman was going to swoop in and fire me before I got the chance to graduate. And I remember being on call with you one night early on, and we had an aortic dissection transfer. This person was on like 3 antihypertensive drips with still systolics in the 190s, 200s. And they had no arterial line, and their radial arteries were like the size of guitar strings. And so I put in a femoral line, and you walked into the room, and you saw the line in the femoral, and you looked at me as if I just shot the woman. You did one of these numbers, and I thought this is it. I'm gonna get strangled to death. I'm not gonna graduate residency. But then I saw you change, and I saw a side of you that no one had told me about before. You assessed the situation, and you spoke to that family like you were an old friend, and you talked to them for much longer than most. You showed immense compassion and detail, and ever since that moment, I haven't seen you as the man I thought you were, but as the man that I believe you truly are. Not a shark, but a lion. You gave the residents a voice when, for so long, we felt like we couldn't speak up about certain things. You lead by example. You always put your patients first. And what amazes me most about you is that you don't even have to be here dealing with all this mess and all these brush fires. You're just here because you want to be and because you care about the program. So for that, I'm very grateful. I'm very proud now of my alma mater. My only regret is that we didn't get to spend a little bit more time with you. But don't hear me wrong, I'm not volunteering for another 5 years. So. Please don't give up, because I care about all these residents here in the rows, and they need you. I want to thank all my lower-classmen and my upperclassmen who are a significant part of my learning and my training. People like David Pennington, Mark Seacard, Smith, Miles Sugar, they've already been mentioned, but also Rachel Shirley, Ali Reza Hamidian, CJ Schoolfield, Nick Harris, Ben Pierce, Amos Sitt, Lloyd Jones, Aris Imdadi, Ronnie Mawad, Justin Rudd, Derek Palmer, and who could ever forget Chad Brady, who I'll always remember riding around on the back of Dr. Gill's scooter. Most of all, on a personal level, I have to thank my family for getting me here. I started out from high school proud and ignorant as can be, not much different than the man you see before you. I thought I was my own man. I thought I could support myself without my parents' help. And when all of that obviously failed, I returned to my parents as a prodigal, and they not only showed me grace and support, they allowed me to take time off from school to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And when I returned and told them I was going to be a surgeon 12 years ago, they never once doubted me. Sorry. People have been through a lot worse hardships than me, but my mom, she worked much longer than she needed to put me through college. It's a lot of sacrifices in residency, some who have sacrificed much more, but I missed my grandmother's funeral. I missed my grandfather's funeral. I missed so much time with you guys. I missed the selling of my childhood home. My nieces and my nephews are pretty much grown, but my family's never wavered. So thank you. All right. Sorry. All right, I'm wrapping this up. Okay, please indulge me because there's one more person obviously I have to thank. I never intended to come to Shreveport, and when I got here I thought, what have I got myself into? I'm not a righteous or deserving man, so don't misunderstand me when I say I was blessed by God to come here. He had a plan for me. So I've grown to love this city and the people in it, and I will miss it. When I was a second-year surgery resident, I got a consult on Friday, just after checkout at 5 p.m. It changed my life forever. The MICU wanted a surgery resident to check out this decubitus ulcer. Been present for years. He was a poor paraplegic man from a car accident years prior, and he had pneumonia, and he'd been admitted for a week or two. He's no longer with us, but I wish I could tell his family how he brought me so much joy. I'm ashamed to say that I approached the consult frustrated. I didn't know why hadn't we been called earlier. This ulcer is clearly not infected. This patient's been admitted for 2 weeks. As he usually does, God showed me grace when I least deserved it. I had no inclination that I might be my future wife. So be careful when you're accepting consults. No man can convince me that they have a better or more loyal wife than mine. She's been my constant companion through all the struggles and heartaches. And so lastly, I want to thank God and my wife for loving me when I least deserve it. Thank you all for being here, listening to me and watching me cry, I guess. But thank you to all the residents I've worked with all these years. I know you'll do great things and exceed your chiefs and your teachers. So I promise to represent this institution well and to represent my mentors well with my life, and I hope to do you all proud, and that's all I have.
Yeah, the podium has a way of making you feel that way. All right, last but not least.
Dr. Pennington, so glad you're here. If you mention Auburn, I'm going to cue you.
That's a very hard act to follow. Very hard. It's kind of different than being an M&M up here. You know, it's not as hot as usual. I want to thank my maker to start with. I want to thank my wife. I brought her out to Shreveport. It's kind of hard. I want to thank her for always making me look good in front of my children, even though we're spending time here. I'm lucky for that. I want to thank all the staff, nurses, circulators, everybody that got me through this. It took a village to raise me, and I have a problem. I do the same thing twice sometimes, and I don't think. I want to thank all the staff. I want to start with the PEDS guys. Dr. Boykin, thank you for describing a Jake to me. So whenever Dr. Zabara used the term, I knew what he was telling me. Dr. Sorrells, thank you. You remind me of Nicolas Cage. You're smooth. You're sitting in your room. You're sleek desk. I mean, you're a man's man. Dr. Brown, you were always a pleasure to call in the middle of the night. Didn't matter if it was 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. You said number 1, number 2, number 3, and those things usually work. I really appreciate that. The trauma staff, I want to thank Dr. Samra. He changed the course of my career, and I will forever be grateful for him. Dr. Weigel, the bean counters, what can I say? They're there, but you taught me a lot. A lot of things can be fixed with albumin and a bronch, and I appreciate that. Dr. Reinhardt, thank you. You're from outside. You're Oscar. You're always upset, but deep down you're happy. Dr. Duhan, thank you. Dr. Wharton, thank you. Y'all aren't here, but y'all were a person who came to the room and made you a better surgeon. Y'all could sit in the corner and be asleep, and we're lucky to have those experiences. Dr. DeBose, you embraced your being thrown into the lion's den as a staff, and we're very thankful for that. You have maturity beyond your years. I'm very thankful for the vascular staff. Dr. Verk, you're always a delight to be around. Dr. Aziz, don't be so hard on yourself about being hard on us. Like I'm not the most elegant speaker, but you could spit on us, but you would never take the case away from us, and we really appreciate that. You let us finish it, and that's what you want as a resident, especially at 4 or 5. You didn't take the suture away, you just told us to do it again. And I will not drop the carotid artery with disrespect whenever I'm doing a carotid enterorectory. I want to thank Dr. Grimes. You sold so many stories, but you never told them twice. It's amazing. I mean, these colonoscopies would take us an hour, but you're always a delight. Dr. Stratton, Dr. Warner, thank y'all for letting us into your house. Dr. Zabari, Dr. Amiri, Dr. Millen, Dr. Altman, y'all opened y'all's house to us and let us come in. We will forever be grateful for the experience, the exposure, the opportunities you gave us. I don't think there's any residents in the country that can say they did a Whipple, all 3 anastomosis. I mean, this doesn't happen today. There's so many fellows, and y'all always protected us. We appreciate that. I want to thank Conway, Dr. Johnson. He's a man's man. I mean, what can you say? Dr. Johnson always had, he always give you insight in his opinion. I loved calling him the night before the case, and he said, "Is that really what you want to do?" And it would make you go to sleep thinking about it. Dr. Alley, Dr. Brady, y'all work 5 days a week, but y'all do 90 hours in that time. You're always available. What else can we ask for in staff? You want staff who will always answer the phone. That's what you want. Dr. Chu, there was never any question about you answering the phone. Second ring, you were up. I wonder if you ever sleep. I really do. But, that gives us a level of comfort and blanket that residents just makes them feel comfortable about the situation. It doesn't matter if it's free air, perforation. I can't think of a better rotation to finish on. I mean, we cokerized. I didn't know you could cokerize that much all the way to the left side. It's amazing. But, you would do it. And I will forever be thankful for it. You took the time to give us exposure that we didn't have anywhere else. And you can work a book, Walter, like no other man. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, indecent exposure was never an option through a small little incision. I mean, I can go on and on. It's hard. I don't want to run this into the ground. I'm thankful, Dr. Griffin, the third eye on your finger for your dissection. I mean, your words of wisdom. You're a surgeon, sir. What else can be said? You've done it all, but you're so humble. Really, I mean, one line in conference, that's all that needs to be said. It's been spoken, the burn, electrical burn that much deeper, makes you go home and think about stuff and not sleep at night, which you need as a resident sometimes. Dr. Scott and Dr. Conrad, y'all are very level-headed. Y'all bring a different aspect to the ICU. We're very thankful for that. I can't ask for anything else. There's people I want to forget speaking. I'm not a good speaker myself. Dr. White, you came. You expected excellence out of us, but you also expected it out of yourself, which makes it easy to do. You're leading from the front. Jenny, all the secretaries, y'all kept me because I would go by office once a week. What do I need to do so I can graduate? What do I need to do to graduate? Jenny always made it happen. I will forever be grateful to this place and the opportunities I had. Dr. Larimore, my last 2 weeks with you, I enjoyed every case. You're a reasonable, level man, and you see your patients. You give these words of wisdom. 20 seconds, Patton. That's all it takes to make your patient happy, and I'm very thankful for that. I guess the last thing I want to put is something Dr. White gave us to read. It's from JAMA last July, and I think this is things that give to the residents. There's a lot of residents I've worked with over the years that I'm thankful. You know, some were a delight to be with. You know, the Schoolfields, the Ben Pierces in the world, and they were, you know, the C. Cars, the Patrick Smiths, and they seemed to display characteristics that were very similar. And then there's 8 things that he gave us from a JAMA article. And, you know, I think for interns, second years, it's rough. There's things that you need to try to do every day, every night, maybe. You know, it's hard. You're working 80 hours a week on paper. We all know you're doing more than that from home and everything. But, you know, y'all make everything work. The mid-levels, the interns, y'all make it where as 4s and 5s we can operate. We get our skills. And I'm just going to read them to you. Y'all probably read them before, but it's kind of corny. You know, spend time nightly reflecting on 3 things you did great. You're grateful for the day. You know, it might not be night, it might be day, but I think reflecting on 3 things you're thankful for. Look for humor in life. Song, you know, I try to make rounds light in the morning. I do. Okay. You know, be intentional. Start the day with 3 things positive. You know, be thankful you woke up. You know, we have. Dr. Griffin put one time, you know, much is given to us, much is expected. We've all, as surgeons, had the opportunity to heal people. We should be thankful for that. It's an opportunity to do something good every day, but be thankful for 3 things that are positive for the day. Be a leader. It doesn't matter if you're intern leading the medical students like ducks, just lead them. You know, it's growing. It helps you become a better person. Be a teacher. Take time. It's painful to teach sometimes. You know, you're in a rush. You have a lot to do, but take time to teach. You know, everybody has a different way they do it, but try to teach. Learn to cultivate compassion. It's easy to forget the person sometimes. I remember whenever I was second year, I had the epiphany. I was getting ready in the morning, and I was like, oh, we have an amputation. That's a great case for a second, third, or intern. And then you're like, I'm taking this person's leg off. Cultivate this. Realize that you're changing that person's life forever. You know, what they say is it's a major case is on you. I mean, just realize how much you're affecting that person. We get to do something every day that person might not have done any other time in their life. Taking out of a gallbladder, they'll never have it again. But we get that opportunity, and they are becoming vulnerable. They're asleep. They're trusting this person they met for 30 minutes to do something that is illegal in some parts of the world. Stay involved in the community. I want to thank my wife for always, you know, sometimes it's hard after a call, going to church, whatever aspect, do something in your community. Stay attached. It keeps you grounded. It makes you realize there's a bigger world than just driving to work and driving home. And the last thing, accept coaching. Accept it from your mentors. I remember being at Conway with Savoy. He was a 3rd year, and I was a 4th year. He said, can I make a suggestion? Accept it. It doesn't always have to be somebody who's been doing it longer. It's somebody who's looking at it at a different angle. Accept it. Try to use it as an opportunity to grow. Different perspectives. Dr. Brady put it to me earlier this year. He's like, man, I've learned, I think, 2 or 3 times more watching a resident struggle through a gallbladder than doing it themselves. You see a different angle. Be appreciative of that, but accept it. Don't take it as somebody's coming after you. Take it as somebody's trying to help you. And I think that will help you grow as a person. I will forever be grateful for Shreveport. I will forever be grateful for this place. Dr. White, thank you for riding the ship. There was a lot of turbulence. You bring a North Star, something we could point towards, and we know where we're going. Dr. Sammer, every task that was given to you, you take it with the utmost, you know, energy, the utmost importance, and, you know, you think that it's an important thing, and I appreciate that, and I will forever be grateful for my opportunities here, and I hope that I, you know, leave this place better than I came. So thank you all for the opportunity to talk.
You're welcome. Thank you. Great job, man. That'll be great. Yes, sir. Well, that concludes everything. It's been a great years with you guys. Thanks for the participation from everyone. It's been a really good day. Y'all have a nice weekend. Thank you.
You want to be a doctor?
right.
Kind of what you said, what is it, him? I said, yeah.
All right, 1, 2. One more. 1, 2. I got it. I'll take 16.
I'm so excited.
Stacy Pennington.